Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are tuning in from today. Hello, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 5 of the Holistic Financial Fitness Series in collaboration with Mupo TV and Mupo Entertainment. I'm Jeff Berger. I'm the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness. And as a certified holistic wellness coach, I am of the belief we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So, what I like to do is before I bring my very special guest today, Johnny Krypto, to the stage, if I may, first, if you would like to connect with me, please scan the QR code that's on the screen right now. It'll direct you to my digital card. Next, in our rapidly changing world, it is evident that many individuals are increasingly seeking alternative options. They have grown weary of the corrupt and broken systems that currently dominate our societies, favoring only a select few while neglecting the majority. Frustrated with this status quo, people are actually seeking solutions outside of the traditional centralized systems that we have today. And the longing for change has given rise to a growing interest in decentralized systems. And these innovative frameworks offer individuals the freedom to explore new possibilities and regain control over their lives. With decentralized systems, power is distributed among participants, enabling collective decision-making, transparency, and fairness. Many are now recognizing that disillusionment with existing systems and the quest for alternatives. We are dedicated to providing a basic understanding of decentralized systems and the numerous options that are available. And our mission with this series is to empower the individuals with the knowledge and the tools they need to navigate this decentralized landscape confidentially. As I did in my first 4 seasons, sharing stories about leaving the centralized medical system, embracing holistic options, the same can be done with the financial systems today. And the goal is to educate and inform, fostering a deep understanding of the benefits and the opportunities that decentralized systems bring today. I truly believe that by embracing decentralization, individuals can reclaim their autonomy and actively participate in shaping a more equitable and inclusive future. In this ever-evolving era, we invite you to join us on this exciting journey of exploration and discovery. So together, let's unravel the potential of decentralization systems and unlock the boundless opportunities they actually present us today. So get ready to embrace a world where we have more options than ever before and where your voice truly matters. We provide real solutions for real people who are serious about wanting to go from barely surviving to thriving again. So with that, what we're going to do is take a very short break. We'll come right back, but this is syndicated through Mupo Entertainment, Mupo TV. We're seen in 144 countries. And we're on Fire TV, Roku. We're being looked at by Netflix and a couple of other syndications that we're very, very excited about. But stay tuned, and we will be back and bringing Johnny Krypto to the stage. Okay, we are back and with Johnny Krypto, who is joining us from Connecticut. And I'm down in Southwest Florida, so it's got to be cold up there, Johnny.
I like to call it cold ass Connecticut. Jeff, that's what we call it.
There you go. So Johnny is a top crypto researcher. He's the co-host of Good Morning Crypto Show, and he's the founder of Merlin. So welcome, Johnny, to season 5, episode 5 of Holistic Financial Fitness Series.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for having me here tonight. I'm very happy to be here and talk to you about this paradigm technical shift we're going through in one of the greatest times to be alive in human history.
Absolutely. So, before we get started with the questions, I need to share this actually came across you by following this dude on TikTok by the name of Coach JV. And in the beginning, I was like, what? So, but the thing is that he's kept coming up into my feed, and I just started to watch it. I'm like, wow, this is like amazing information. So I was getting the nuggets and the seeds that were planting in my head to say, I need to look into this a little bit more, which actually led me to, seeing you. And here we are today, and you are on my show. I'm pretty sure that Coach JV is still out in a retreat and kind of doing his meditation and his self-discovery and whatever he does with that outside of the country. So that's the last I heard. So let's get started with the this aspect of cryptocurrency, the digital world, so forth and so on. And I actually was introduced to this back in 2009, looking at crypto, being introduced to cryptocurrency and the blockchain. And I'm an ex-software engineer of 27 years. So, and I back then said, oh, this is garbage. It's not going to last. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's this, it's that, blah, 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 blah. But as I said to you off camera, who's kicking themselves in the butt today? Looking at where Bitcoin is today, and I actually looked it up. It's $36,897.50 per coin or per token at 2 p.m. today. So it's like there's so many who just aren't aware of Bitcoin, and they've kind of stayed away from that. And I want to start the series out today, the questions with regards to blockchain technology. It is here. It's been here since 2009. It's gone through a lot of, ups and downs, but it's here to stay. So share with our viewers who are, a lot of them I've talked to have no clue what blockchain is. So share a little bit about what blockchain is, and then I'll go to the next question regarding blockchain.
Sounds good, Jeff. Will do. I just want to do a quick shout out to say that Coach JV is an amazing individual. I stumbled on him just like you did 4 years ago, and he just speaks the truth and he's very authentic. So, Coach, we love you, appreciate you. If you haven't heard of the 3T Academy, I encourage everybody to go check out Coach JV and the 3T Academy because it will help you get your mind right. Jeff, when you get into this space, you first have to have your health has got to be good, your mind has got to be right. And those are always what I tell everybody, your health is your wealth. You need to have that first
Right.
and foremost. And once you have that, then you worry about everything else because this game, the stock market or the coin cryptocurrency market, it's a very emotional game. And that's why
Correct.
we've been in Merlin and we'll get into that later. But when you think about the blockchains and if you say the word cryptocurrency out loud, it's a bad word.
Right.
Most of your friends and family will think that crypto is a scam. Most of my family do, and I've been in this for 4 years. I talk about Good Morning, I talk about crypto every single day, so I'm very deeply heavy involved in it. And they know a lot of my best friends will come to me and say, "Johnny, you still into that scam crypto stuff?"
Right.
And I laugh because I understand because I'm in technology, Jeff. I know what it is and I know what's coming, but most people don't. So I'm going to try to break it down for your audience today to help them kind of get an understanding of what it is and what's coming. So
Awesome.
the way to think about it, to understand what it is today, I'm going to kind of take it back a few years in history to kind of help people understand kind of what a ledger is and why it's important and where it's heading. So when you think of, for example, the banking system, um, we're moving from what's called a trust system to a truth system. And what that means is in the olden days, if I lend you money, and I write in my notebook, I lent Jeff $100. You write in your notebook that I lent that you owe me $100. When we hook up, we can connect, and we look at our notebooks. We say, okay, yep, you owe me 100. I give you 100. You owe me 100, and it's there. But
Right.
if I cheat and I change my notebook to 200 and here's a 100, I say, you come to me and give me 100. I go, no, Jeff, you owe me 200. It's written right here. And you're like, no, mine is 100. I'm like, maybe you wrote it down wrong, but no, this is what you owe me, right? That's a trust network. And so the Medicis came along in the early 800 or 900, somewhere in there, and they said, hey, we'll solve the problem. Jeff, you keep a ledger. Johnny, you keep a ledger, and we'll also keep a ledger for a small fee. And now we can see, what's really going on. The only
Right.
problem with that is, if I'm a smart guy, I go behind the back door. I go to the Medicis and I say, hey, let's make this $200. I'll give you half of what he owes me. And they go, yeah, great. And they bump it to $200. And then you come to me like, hey, here's your 100. Like, nope, it's 200. And you're like, well, what a Medicis? Up, it's 200, and you're out.
Yeah.
Right? That's a trust system. We're moving to what's called the truth system. This means that there is going to be a network of computers set up so that these ledgers that were typically written by hand right now by all of us are now captured by computer. Imagine a bunch of computers like the internet.
Mhm.
So computers all over the world, all connected to this central area, to this one decentralized, all these decentralized computers hooked up, and all getting a message that says Jeff owes Johnny $100, right? Well,
Right.
every single computer has that message out there. You can see it's very, very hard now for me to manipulate one or two computers because there's 700 more computers that say, nope, that's wrong. This is the right method. And it is, Jeff only owes Johnny 100. Sorry, Johnny, you're wrong. You can't cheat and change the number because there's 700 other records that say it's not $200, it's $100. That's kind of in a nutshell what the blockchain does. The blockchain keeps a record of a transaction permanently immutable, cannot be changed. Once it's written, it's like writing it in stone. You aren't changing.
Right.
And it's like writing it in stone in multiple of thousands of places. And that's why they call it a blockchain. You're writing this block of information in a chain of data that is permanently there, that's open to the public and private, where anybody can see it, anybody can access it. And that's how the computers kind of keep everything, access all the data to be able to do the transactions to
Yeah.
confirm. And that's how you
Yeah.
build a trust system.
Yeah. That's absolutely correct. And earlier I said I talked about the broken and corrupt systems,
Mm.
and this is a paradigm, a technology that will eliminate the corruption and the deceit that has been happening for decades and centuries. Now, with that being said, yes, we've had problems earlier on with companies and fraudulent cryptocurrency programs that have been out there, but that is changing, and the goal is down the road is all of that is going to be rectified with certain rules and regulations that are being put in place right now. I was scammed with a cryptocurrency program 3 years ago for 120K,
Oh,
but we live and we learn.
mm.
And the exciting thing is that things are changing and things are being addressed, and this is the beauty of this. So, and the uniqueness about this with regards to cryptocurrency is that we have that cryptography, which is basically the idea where things are hidden, they're encrypted, and it can't be hacked into or scammed from that perspective. So, can you talk a little bit about the aspect of how cryptocurrency is really moving forward, and how that really works within regards to where we are, kind of a little bit where we were before, where we are at today, because banks are coming on board, financial institutions. We've got, the medical community is coming on board. Real estate is coming on board. So this is a paradigm shift where different business entities will be incorporating their practices within the blockchain technology paradigm.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. So what's happening is you're seeing a shift of technology, and a lot of this stuff that's happening is in the background, what we call the back end. So
Right.
most consumers won't even know. Like today, when I send you an email or when I make a phone call to you, there's a ton of different technologies that are operating to make that happen. to make
Right.
that email get sent to you or to make that phone call come to you. Nobody cares how it works. Nobody cares.
Right. Right.
Except for the companies who are running those technologies and making profits off of them, right? So what we're seeing here is a better way to do things that we do today, cheaper and faster. And the bottom line for most companies is they want cheaper, faster solutions. And the blockchain is going to allow that to happen. And so you're going to see the world shift into a very, very, what we call a tokenized digital place. We're going to be shifting where everything in the world is going to be on the blockchain. So everything's going to have a data. It's going to have records. It's going to be, encrypted, immutable, meaning it cannot be changed. And these paradigm shifts that are going to happen are going to transform the way companies do business, the way money gets moved around. Like today, the fastest way for me to send money to you if you were in Italy would for me to put the money in a suitcase. This is no joke. I get on a plane, I fly it to you, and I hand you the suitcase. In 2023, that's the fastest way for me to get you money if you were in Europe. Now, think about how crazy it is that I can send you an email and you could have that in 8 seconds, or I could be talking to you live and you're 3,000 miles or 1,000 miles away from me. And here we are live in a second, but I can't get money to you for 7 days if you're in Europe. Well, that's all going to change with the blockchains because these technologies have real world solves. Now, everyone is different. Okay. So you got Bitcoin. Let's talk about a couple of these. Bitcoin is, it was the original, if you will, cryptocurrency, the first one that was ever created. And it was really intended to be able to, as a currency. But the way, and it was intended to kind of simulate the way gold is done. To get gold, for it to have value, you have to mine it, you get it out of the ground, you purify it, and you turn it into something of value. And people accept it as really the only true monetary system in the world if you go back thousands of years, right?
Correct.
Bitcoin is intended to be the same thing, right? They want you to have to work for it. So this is called proof of work, where a bunch of computers are doing work, solving a technical equation that is equivalent to mining it. And when you solve this equation, you get rewarded that Bitcoin. And that Bitcoin now can be used as currency, be transferred back and forth to people. And what we've learned over the years since Bitcoin has evolved since 2008 and 9 is Bitcoin, rather than being probably a real world solve for currency because it's slow and it's, and it has a lot of energy to use it. It's finding itself more in the place of replacing gold, being what we call a store of value. That seems to be the use case that Bitcoin is cementing itself for. But then there's other cryptocurrencies, what we call altcoins, like Ethereum, which is a smart contract solution, which allows you to build digital apps, or what we call DApps, decentralized apps. There's XRP, which has a solution where they can solve cross-border payment problems. There's something like Quant and Link, which tries to solve all of these blockchains talking together the way TCP/IP did for technology back in the 1990s. We got to bring all these email systems in. You're a software developer, right?
SMTP and exactly.
HTTP as a result. HTTP. Then there's Oracle solutions. There's gaming solutions. There's so many different cryptocurrencies and segments out there. And cryptocurrencies are really the incentive to run the blockchain, because there's a difference between the blockchain, which is the record or the ledger, the transactions of what's happening, and then the cryptocurrency to incentivize people to run their, because why should somebody put their computer up or their energy up to run a node, right? The intention was to have this cryptocurrency as an incentive, or to put in a staking pool to provide liquidity so that these blockchains can run on a decentralized basis without needing, because everything has to run on money, right? It needs some kind of decentralization. So that's kind of why the cryptocurrency exists, is to incentivize and keep some of these blockchains alive. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a background of.
So it does, and there's so much information out there, as I said earlier, and it's a matter of kind of waking up. to
Mm.
the reality of what's going on today. Because as I said earlier, I put blockchain, I put Bitcoin to the back burner until it was around 2016, 2017. I was seeing more and more about cryptocurrency coming into my feeds. And I'm like, something's going on here. I
Mm.
better wake up and start looking at this and getting educated. And I'm forever thankful that I have, I stepped out of my comfort zone. And it is a fact or a matter of fact of stepping out of your comfort zone because it's change, it's something different.
Mm.
And we're comfortable without change, massive change. And if people my opinion is if people don't step into this and start educating themselves, you don't have to be an expert. Just start educating yourself with the basics. You're going to be lost when everything changes over. So, with that, we're going to take a short 2-minute commercial break and we will be right back with Johnny Crypto.
We are the one. An energetic amalgamation of real estate and technology, making resounding waves with its global presence in the world of real tech, incorporating the best practices of crowdfunding. We are the one advocates communal growth by harnessing the power of continual learning. Our vision is to empowering people globally to build their own lifestyle and live the ultimate dreams. We are the one carries the mission to combine the power of 3 giant industries: real estate, information technology, and direct selling, to provide our partners and customers an opportunity for financial growth and to empower them to contribute for the betterment of humanity. The unparalleled products and services We Are the One provides are as follows: global real estate investment opportunities, fractional ownership, real estate-based STO, we REIT, rental property ownership, NFT property trading, blockchain property exchange, exclusive property development, blockchain marketplace, communal skill development, travel and tour. It's time to have a look at our portfolio. V1 Beachview, Mozambique. Property in London. JVT Dubai. Property in Damak Paramount Hotel Dubai. And the jewel on the top, the One Hotel and Resorts, Zanzibar. We are the one. Maps are not the limitations. We are the one. The only platform that truly enables you to own, share, and grow.
Okay, we are back, and that was The Art of One. And I'm very proud to say that I am a global ambassador for this company. I was introduced to this opportunity last year, and actually, I was very, very skeptical at first. However, just like I switched over from traditional medicine to holistic medicine back in 2018, I kind of took a step back saying, I wonder if I could do the same thing for my finances,
Mm.
which I'm so blessed and thankful that I was open to getting information and getting more educated about what's out there. Because Johnny's talking about cryptocurrency and the blockchain, as well as Bitcoin, and we've got all these different altcoins that are out there. Industries are switching over to blockchain, and real estate. This commercial real estate program is about blockchain technology and owning a fractional owner. You're a fractional owner within these international commercial establishments. So that was just a little basic information about what we have going on with the international real estate fractional ownership opportunity there. So with that, let's continue with Johnny Crypto here, and I want to share this because I mentioned about Coach JV, which kind of from TikTok led me to YouTube and the 3T Warrior Academy. So with that, I start. Johnny, I talked to you about this off screen here, and I said when I first started looking at this channel, I was completely overwhelmed and was trying to understand what you and Abs and Mario and Gonzo and some of the other guests were saying on this, and everything was just sliding over this bald head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell, what's going on? But with that being said, I didn't want to get stressed out. I took a step back saying, okay, this is a new channel and I'm here to learn. And if I could take 1, 2, maybe 3 nuggets away from this daily, series, which runs Monday through Friday from 11 to 12 p.m. No, 11:15 to maybe 12:15, 12:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then it's worth it. So take us on that journey, because I know that JV, I think it was JV, came across you. He invited you to the 3T Warrior, and now you're a co-host, which is amazing. So talk with us about the journey getting to 3T Warrior and then the purpose, because there's so much value that you guys provide. I'm just like blown away by everything that you share on a daily basis. So go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So the 3T Academy Warrior, by the way, was started by Coach JV and his partner Jeremy Quintanilla, and I had stumbled across them on a TikTok that my cousin had actually sent me. So I said, yeah, let me check this out, and I got into it, and I said, let me join the academy and learn what I could, because I was like, what? He was talking about the corrupt banking system and how it, not corrupt, but how it, it's being out thin air and all that. And I said,
corrupt.
I was like, this guy actually gets it. A lot of people don't know how the system's created. So and I kind of had I had done some research and understood when the markets crashed in 2008. I was like, what the heck's going on? And then I realized, like, oh my God, money's printed out of thin air. I didn't even know that. So when I started realizing that, and I heard him talk about that, I was like, oh, this is somebody I can relate to. So let me hop in, join the academy, started getting heavily involved in it, and I really liked what I was hearing. I started realizing that we were all kind of on the same level, same frequency, same mindset. Very, very hard to find people of the same mindset. I was like, this is where I want to be. This is a great place to be. And lo and behold, not only did I get to meet Coach JV and become good friends with him, at some point, I was contributing a lot and helping on research. And he says, hey, you want to be part of the research team? I said, I'd love to be part of the company. I kept saying to him, I want to be part of it. He says, well, we'll see if we can make it happen. And as the company grew, myself and a few others, Abs and Mario came on board, and Gonzo, and everybody else, kind of as we were kind of showing, putting in the effort and the work, and it was really passion. We had a passion for this space. That's really was the key. And so we're like, yeah, let's form this thing together, and we thought, let's get together and educate the community on what crypto's about, because a lot of the community didn't know what it is, and we want to help as many people as possible understand, what is this? How does it work? Why is this the greatest time in human history to be alive? How can you invest in this and create generational wealth? How can you make sure you can get out of this thing and not get wrecked? How do you have an exit plan? Where do you put the money when you get out? We realized there's this whole holistic path that the journey you have to go through, from getting your health and your mindset right, to then getting your investing technique right, to then knowing what to do with it when you extract that money. There's a whole thing. That's not easy. You don't go.
No, it's not.
There's no school that tells you how to do that, but that academy does.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing, as I said, it's about stepping out of your comfort zone and getting educated, because we grow up being taught to trust the system, trust the experts, from when it comes from a financial planner perspective, an accountant perspective, a lawyer perspective, so forth and so on. And the bottom line is that they're human, they make mistakes, and we have to be the CEOs of our own life. And the sooner you learn that, and you don't have to be an expert in every single area, but be more informed. Because I trusted my financial planner in 2001. Between 2001 and 2008, I lost over $900,000 in the stock market.
Whew. Yeah.
So it hits you in the gut. So
it really does.
Go ahead.
It really does. And so what you learn in the academy is you learn, first of all, how to first get your mind right, your health right. And when I joined the academy, I strictly joined for crypto. I did not join for anything else. And coach was so motivational that I found myself working out. I did the 120-day challenge. I lost 35 pounds. It was amazing. I was like, I'm not here for any of this. And yet I went through all of it. I was like, this is great. You know, it's just, you start to realize that, yes, you have to unwind everything you've learned. You've been taught what to do. And when you start to learn that, you then start to learn how the game is played. And when you learn how the game is played, you now put yourself in a position to at least have a chance to win. You just said it yourself. You gave your money to your financial advisor and he lost all of it for you. You know what? He probably didn't put you in what he's doing. And he probably couldn't even explain what he was doing for you. They don't care.
Well, you know what? Here's the other thing, though, too. Learning from Tony Robbins and some other leaders in the industry, it's like, look at the coach that you're working with. What kind of lifestyle are they living?
Exactly.
And he was driving a beat up old car. He took one vacation a year and he lived a moderate lifestyle. You know, not that that's bad, but I wanted to have more options in my life and I wasn't getting that. And when I lost everything, it was like, he said, well, the market will come back. The market will come back. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to be 70 years old next year. I don't have time to wait for the market to come back.
Right, exactly. I know what you mean. Remember this, coach is very, very sharp. We talked about this all the time. You are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So make sure you're hanging around with people that are smarter and better than you, or your average is you're gonna get pulled down. But
so important.
Yeah, definitely very important. And so from there, when we joined the academy, coach and myself and Mario and Abs, we started getting together, and every other Friday we would do one video with him, kind of teaching our viewers, our followers, about cryptocurrencies. And we would do something on gaming, and the gaming sector was big, so we would do things on Mana, on Sand, and all the Gala and all that stuff. And then coach was going away. He does his annual trip to South America for his spirituality. And he's like, wow, we got to do something with the channel. And we're like, and he's like, why don't you guys do something? You guys take over for the week and do it. And we're like, okay. So this was supposed to be just a 1-week thing while he was away. We were just going to do this little show for a week and fill the void. And then that's it. And we're sitting there and we're like, okay, what are we going to call it? What's the name of it? And then we're throwing all these crazy names. And then Mario says, what about Good Morning Crypto? We're like, oh my God, that's it. That's a great name. All right. So we'll do Good Morning Crypto. So for 1 week, we started this thing up, Good Morning Crypto, and Abs was hosting it, and myself and Mario and a bunch of other people we had at the time. Gonzo and Spellman and Jackie, and there were a bunch of NFT Tone, Andrew. We were all on the show, and we would kind of rotate different hosts every day, or we'd have 3 or 4 of us all the time on just to have different ideas and stuff. So we do the Good Morning Crypto show for a week, and it was a huge, huge hit. And we're like, wow, okay. And coach was like, you guys want to keep doing it? We're like, yeah, we'll keep doing it. And now it's been 1.5 years, and we've been doing it. So you can check out the Good Morning Crypto show every single day on the channel you showed on 3T Academy channel. If you just scroll down from the image you had there, you'll see it. But we're on the channel every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern time, or 11:10ish. We start every day, and it's 1 free hour we give to the community every single day of the latest news and things that were out there. And what you see when you watch the shows, we're going to tell you what it is, how we feel. And I think that's why people love our show, is we're as authentic as possible. Listen, we're not always right. We know that, but we're sharing with you what we think, and you're hearing ideas or ideations from 3 or 4 different people where none of us are paid, right? We're not paid by any sponsorship. Nobody's telling us what to say or do. We're out there just saying what we feel and what we're doing from our experience that we've had in the space for the past, some of us have 4 years of experience, I have 10.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm just amazed at Abs as far as him pulling up all these articles and Twitter stuff. And, it's just flip over to here and flip over there. This is what this woman is saying. This is what this man is saying. And, it's just back and forth and back and forth. So
Abs, I got to say, Abs is an amazing.
My God.
He's an amazing host. He's the next Joe Rogan. I tell him that all the time. Joe Rogan can be worried. Abs is so good at what he does and makes the show so great to be able to just go from one topic to the next, or tie them together and then throw us content for us to talk about and comment. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing. So one of the things that I wanted you to share with is that, as I said earlier, when I came on board, I'm looking at these videos and I'm like, oh my God, And then I started going back to other ones. And I mean, as you said, it's over a year old. But I think, and I want you to confirm this with me, is the best thing to do right now is really go back maybe 1 to max 3 or 4 weeks and look at those videos and then continue to move forward, because each day is what's happening today or what happened yesterday. If you go back further, that's old news. That's old coverage.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, our show is basically we will always talk about the latest news and notes happening in crypto. Now, some of our old content is good in a way because we talk about some of it's news. We also talk about how the markets work. We talk about how the game is played. We talk about the speculation curves versus the adoption curves and the time it takes. So there's some educational stuff in there too. So going back and they're in different episodes. So going back, if you catch one of those are very valuable episodes. Otherwise, yeah, I'd say, watch the last month worth because it's the most relevant. But there's also some really good ones, and you can scroll through the titles. And if you see a title that catches your eye, even if it's 6 months old, I would still encourage you to check it, because some of the stuff we talked about 6 months ago is still relevant today. I mean, we've been predicting for over 6 months or a year that the Bitcoin ETF would be coming. And the minute we saw BlackRock file for it, we knew that was game over what they did. Now it's just it's not a matter of if anymore. Now it's just a matter of when.
Exactly. So that brings us to Merlin. What's on your shirt there? And Merlin is you actually started, and I just learned this yesterday. You started tracking your crypto on spreadsheets, and it was like it just was a big task for you. And then you were looking at a $1.7 million awakening that turned into an unawakening for you. And you were looking at a lot of different trackers, which led you to the development of Merlin. So, and what I loved about what I saw is it's about putting the power back into the people. And this is a vehicle that is the smartest way to track your crypto and sharing a safety factor. So with that, share a little bit about the evolution of getting into Merlin, launching it, because it just launched, and what you have today with this app, this tool for people, and then some of the future enhancements that you're going to, if you can share with us, because I know that this right now is the first launch, and there's always an evolution with software applications.
Yeah. So when I joined the academy and I got into crypto, what I realized pretty quickly was all my crypto, because we're such a new space still, was spread amongst all these different exchanges. When you want to buy certain coins, you start to realize, I could open up, a certain account, like maybe with a Kraken or a Coinbase or whatever, and you realize like, oh, you can buy some coins there, but then there's these other tokens or currencies you want. And you're like, oh, I can't buy it there. I got to buy it on a different one. And then you go open up another second exchange and you buy it there. And then you see another coin you want. You're like, damn, it's not on those two. I got to go open a third account.
Exactly.
So I have 5 exchanges. My coins are in 5 different places. So it got really, really hard to track. So I said, you know what? I'm an engineer. This is easy. I'll make a spreadsheet. So I just, opened up Excel, created a spreadsheet, and started tracking every single transaction. I'd write it as I bought something. I'd write it down on which exchange I bought it, how much I bought it at, what was the price, and I could see what my portfolio was doing, because I would then add them all up together. And I was like, okay, this is kind of working. I could see everything. I could see my average price. But the problem was I had to manage it. I had to tell the spreadsheet what the price of the coin is daily. Well, that's a pain in the ass to have to do everything.
Yes.
And like once I got to 40 or 50 coins, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of coins to have to update manually every single day. It was too much work. So in the academy, and that was just the front end of just managing to know what it is. And at the same time, Coach started talking to somebody, I think it was Cryptocito, and he started realizing, he said to him one day, Coach, do you have an exit plan? He's like, what the hell is an exit plan? And when you look at crypto, what you'll notice is, like in most markets, something goes up and it comes down. every single bull run in crypto, you get this euphoric run all the way up 10, 20x, and then comes crashing down. And the problem with that is if you don't exit on the way up, you're just going to watch it come back down, and you're going to look at everything.
Right.
And I did it. Coach did it. We exited some stuff, but nowhere near enough that we should have, because we had these exit spreadsheets, so we're like, okay, we need to come up with a plan. How do we do this exit plan? So I created a spreadsheet. I told you I had one already. I adapted it and added an exit strategy piece to it. So you could tell the spreadsheet what you wanted to sell, how many coins, and this and that.
Right.
And we built that out, and Mario kind of volunteered to help me out, and was like, that's how I got to meet Mario. And we built it, we started doing things together, and we realized that even though we could make it better than the original spreadsheet, now it had an exit plan built into it, it still required a lot of management.
Yeah.
And it couldn't keep track of when you sold something, what was your new average cost. You had to do so many. It's like, so I'm saying to Mario, what are we going to do? He's like, we really need an app. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And back, you went through this pain. You talked about your story of not buying Bitcoin in 2028. In 2013, I was building a company with a couple friends, and we were doing this fantasy sports thing. And one of them was like, hey, we should mine some Bitcoin. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then we got so busy building the app for the fantasy sports that we never did build the service for the Bitcoin in 2013, when I think Bitcoin was like $50. So I'm kicking myself too. Jeff. Nonetheless, I was like, you know what? I know some guys. Let me bring the band back together, like the Bruise Brothers, bring them all back together, and see if we could build the team out and build this app. And that's what I did. We put the team back together, and I said, okay, let me as we were building it, I started to use some of the coin trackers that were out there already. I wanted to get a feel for what they're doing, how they work.
Sure.
And I used one. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to bash any competitor, but I was using it, and it was kind of okay. And then one day in the bull run, I wake up and my app shows me that my account was worth $1.7 million. Now, at first, when you're in a bull run, you're like, oh my God, this could be real. That's life-changing, I'm like, this is great. I look at the thing, and then I go a little deeper. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So then I go into my exchange, and I was like, nowhere near that, like 10 grand, So I look at it, and certainly what had happened was what you'll learn in cryptocurrency, if you're new out there, guys, is when you get in, you're going to see that there's ticker symbols for each coin. Well, unfortunately, because we're in an unregulated space, many of the coins have the same ticker symbol.
Right.
So there were two coins that had the symbol CORE, C-O-R-E. One coin was worth $5,000 a coin, and the other one was worth like 3 cents. So my tracking app that I was using thought I had the $5,000 coin, but in reality, I only had the 3-cent coin, and unfortunately, and so I couldn't fix it, Jeff. I went into the app, and I'm trying to tell the app, nope, that's the wrong coin. I need to switch it. Can't do it. Tried to change the cost basis. Can't do it. Couldn't change it. No matter what I did. And I said, you know what? We were just in the process of developing Merlin, and I said, we are going to make sure we design Merlin that it gives the user all the tools they need to be able to change any parameter you need to in Merlin, in your coin tracking app, so that you can get your account right. Because all these apps, all these coin trackers have these API keys that tie into the exchange. They bring the data over from the exchange. And none of these exchange APIs are not good. They have poor data. So they send you crappy data. There's an old saying in software.
Crap in, crap out.
There you go. You're a software. So that's what was happening. I was getting crap in, so it's crap out, and I can't change the crap in. And so we designed Merlin where you can change it. You can, first of all, Merlin doesn't have your keys or your coins. We don't custody nothing.
Right.
There's no risk of using Merlin. Merlin just helps bring all your coins into one place. So if you're watching this show today and you're into crypto, or you're not, and you've bought some coins, or there are multiple places, then Merlin is for you. You can use Merlin. You can sync your exchanges or your wallets. We have the most popular ones. You can sync them in Merlin, and they all show up in one place in Merlin. And then what we've done to differentiate ourselves is not only can you sort and be able to see your daily gains and losses and all that, but we built in an exit strategy. So there's a tool in there. You can actually see it. You can create an exit strategy for each coin based on whatever your gut is, how much maybe you want to hold some of your coins.
We're gonna talk about exit strategy.
Oh, okay. So I won't go to that
after the commercial break, but real quick, I wanted to share this. because Merlin has their own YouTube training site as well. And I started watching the videos, and it's flipping amazing. And this is something that, for those who are watching right now, or who are going to catch the replay, whatever, get back to me, because I'd be more than happy to share with you my journey in regards to getting on board with Merlin. I think it's going to be an amazing tool, and it's going to evolve into many, many things down the road, because we're just getting started. Well, Johnny and the crew, not me, Johnny and his crew are just getting started, but I feel like I'm starting with them too, because I'm a customer. And so it's all about being exclusive here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another short commercial break, and then we will be right back to wrap up today's show.
What is this place? Every time I'm here, it feels like I am here for the first time. It's like a déjà vu. It tells me that I've been here before. It is so strange. It is so beautiful. Here, my desire for freedom and purity becomes a reality. And the reality feels like a dream. What is this place? Beyond good and bad, pleasure and pain. This is pure tranquility. Peace that recharges me to become a better me. I come here all the time. If not in person, then in my clear dreams. The One Hotel and Resorts by We Are the One.
Okay, we are back, and DA1 Resorts, Hotel and Resorts, is one of the commercial fractional ownership properties that is part of the portfolio with VR to One. It was actually unveiled in August when I was in Dubai for a summit, and today it's already over 25% sold. And this is only phase one of 3 phases of this massive complex that they're building in Zanzibar, and very, very excited to someday go out and take a look at it. So with that, we're going to come back and talk about this exit plan that Johnny has kind of dropped a seed here. He said, let's wait till after the commercial. And exit plan is so, so important. And, you know, I kind of take this and look at this from an aspect of, you've got the stock market, and then you've got, the cryptocurrency. There's tons of cryptocurrency. There's tons of, stocks in the stock market. And it's kind of that association from a centralized to a decentralized. So those of us who are involved with the decentralized, we have to be smart and be attuned to when we need to exit the market, so we can, because the goal is to make some money. All right. So share a little bit about this strategy that you have incorporated into, the warrior as well as Merlin, because Merlin, what I recall from listening to some of the videos, it sends you alerts about, I think you set your target price, and then it will alert you. So share a little bit about the importance, the basics of a exit plan, and then the importance to being on top of that.
Yeah. So the key there is it all starts with understanding how the market works. When you understand how a lot of these work and you look at the historical bull runs that we've seen in the past in the cryptocurrency market, for example, in 2013, 2017, and 2021, we saw that in each of those, you get these monster euphoric pumps up and then drops down, and they happen within a matter of weeks, so sometimes within hours. And so you have to make sure that you have thought ahead of time. I tell everybody, before you get into crypto, you better know how you're getting out, and most people don't. They get into it thinking it's because they hear all this stuff on TV or their friends tell them, oh, I made 100x, I made 1,000x. You'll get a few people that made a bunch of money on SafeMoon or Pepe or Doge when it pumped. And so they hear these things and they go, oh, this is a great get rich quick scheme. And who doesn't want to get rich quick, right? So everybody wants, and the bottom is that's a sucker's game. That's a fool's game. You're going to lose. 95% of people are going to lose that game. Right?
Exactly.
There'll be a small few that are going to get lucky enough. And if you're lucky enough, great. But that's not a game. I'm not willing to play a game with my money for 5% chance or even 1% chance of getting it. So what I look for in the crypto space is, first, I look to invest in real world solve cryptocurrencies, ones that I know are solving a real world solution or problem. There's probably only about a good 100 of them or so. So there's 12,000 active cryptocurrency tokens.
Oh, wow.
There's probably only about 100 that really have any real value, that have a real world solve. Okay. So step one starts with understanding and doing the research and understanding which ones of those make sense to invest in and are going to be here for the long term. Once you've identified what those are, and you can join the academy and we talk about them, coach shows you his portfolio on the Crypto Good Morning Crypto show. We'll talk about some of them from time to time.
Yep.
But basically people need to go and do their own research and feel comfortable. We also do one-on-one consultations in the academy. So we help people, we kind of share what we're doing and people can get a view of what we're doing as well. So if that's something they're interested in, again, you have to join the academy for that. But once you've decided, okay, I'm going to get into crypto, now you got to say, okay, how am I getting out? What's my exit plan? Now, an exit plan doesn't mean you sell everything. You don't do what Johnny Crypto did in 1997. So in 1997, I bought Amazon and like an idiot. And I don't know, a year later or two, I sold it. I bought it at 17, sold it at 27. I was happy to the pig and shit. I made $10 a share, 1,000 shares. Like, oh my God, this is great. You spend a lot of money when you're young,
Sure.
I didn't have the foresight or the experience to know that I should have held on to some of those bags. I should have sold maybe 60, 65% and held 30% for the future. Because had I held, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd be a multi-millionaire. I might be on an island somewhere. Who the hell knows where I'd be? But I definitely would have had a different life path had I held on to that. And so that taught me the lesson back then. And actually, every failure in life is just a lesson learned. And that taught me and prepared me for this very moment where I now have a second chance. So I won't make that mistake again. So an exit strategy means you're going to go into every coin and you're going to say, okay, when this coin starts to move or starts to pump, I'm going to sell a certain portion of it, but I'm going to then hold a certain portion of it for the future that I might not sell for 5 to 10, 15 years from now. Because the reality is, for these prices to see maximum valuation, if you go back and just look historically, from speculation phase to adoption phase, it takes about 14 years. That's with any technology.
Sure.
Cryptocurrency is going to be no different. Now, you can argue that some of these are already in development, and that's fair argument. So maybe it's not 14. It might be 7 or 8 years left to get there. But the reality is these things go up in value, they come down, and they go sideways for a while until utility comes in, and then they go back up again. Amazon went up to $125 in 2001, pulled back 95% in 2002 and 3, and didn't hit that $125 number again until around 2020, almost 15, 20 years later. You can go look at the charts. You can see it. It took a good 10, 15 years to come back just to that same number that you could have sold at 12 years ago. So the point of an exit plan is you go in and you say, okay, I'm going to pick first, step one, I'm going to determine how much do I want to sell and how much do I want to hold. So let's just pick an example. So let's just say you own 1,000 XRP or Bitcoin, whatever. You say, okay, I'm going to sell maybe 60% of it, and then I'm going to put 40%. I'm going to carry with me into the future. You put that into
Mhm.
Merlin, and Merlin says, okay. It says, okay, you had 1,000 coins. You want to sell 60%? Merlin says, okay, then I know you have to sell 600 coins, and 40% you're going to put a sign you're not going to sell. Then it's going to have a second phase of the tool that says, okay, now you have to disperse that 100% of that 60%. How do you want to break those up and sell them? At what points? And you go and you tell Merlin, maybe say at $1.20, I'm going to sell 25%. And then at $3, I'm going to sell another 25%. And at $5 or $10, I'm going to sell the last 50%. And you build that exit strategy, right? You set it and you forget it, and now you just wait for the bull run to happen. And when it comes, now that you've set your targets, Merlin's going to say, hey, we send pre-alerts because the markets can move fast.
Right.
When we're within 5 to 10% of your target, you're going to get an alert that says, hey, get ready. It's time to
Get
sell.
ready.
Get ready. Get ready. You know, and you may look at it and you go, you know what? That's close enough. I'm going to sell or whatever. Or you can wait. And if your target is actually hit, then you're going to get a second alert that's going to say, time to sell. You've hit your target, and you go into your exchange, wherever it is, and you go sell the coins like you're supposed to. Then you come back and you tell Merlin you sold it and marks it off. And what's cool, we built in Merlin a tax estimator tool. So when you've sold it, you'll actually see the tax liability that you owe Uncle Sam. You're going to want to set that money aside because you never want to mess with Uncle Sam. Al Capone did not go to jail for killing people. He went to jail for not paying his taxes.
Tax evasion.
You better pay your taxes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's great. I mean, there's so much to learn about Merlin. I'm excited to, evolve with that journey, if you will. And we have to get that box going in there, and I'll be talking to you about that.
But I do want to tell you, I know you're in it, and you talked about coming on the journey for us, and you are right. Anybody who's in Merlin is part of the Merlin family, Jeff. So we welcome you, and we're happy you're part of that. And anybody who wants to join it, they can just go visit www.merlincrypto.com, sign up for a free 30-day trial. Everybody gets a free 30-day trial. And one thing we've done, Jeff, we made it simple. I hate when you can't cancel something. I hate that when you got to figure out, how do I cancel? You're on the phone for that. No. You do have to put your credit card in to sign up, right? For free 30-day. Right. But we made it risk-free. There's a cancel button right in the app. You just press it, one click, and you're canceled. Boom. You don't have to worry your card won't get charged. When your 30 days is up, it just will expire and not charge you. So we've made it very, very simple to give people a chance to do it because we believe putting the tool in people's hands could really help them save it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're kind of wrapping up here, and there are a lot of scams out there in the digital world, and I have already expressed that I've been scammed. However, with that being said, there are good people and there are good companies that want to make change. They are diligently working their butts off because they want to make change from a global perspective and do this for the betterment of humanity. So I want to really encourage people to don't lose hope because there are those entities out there. And I again go back to my illness days back in 2018. I was being led down a path towards early death. And I was desperate. And eventually, I was introduced to holistic. I got off of 5 medications, lost 60 pounds, reduced stress, anxiety, depression. That was at a 10 plus for decades. And then when this financial component came into play, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And thankfully, I left the doors open and got information. So with that being said, and Johnny is another example of an individual and his team of people who are out there really wanting to make a difference and share information with people, educate them. And that's what we're all about. We're looking to help, promote that for people who are seriously looking to make change from barely surviving to thriving again. And, I'm forever thankful because our little piddly retirement has now potentially has the potential of going to high 7 to 8 figures at this point. So with that being said, the last question is, if there was one piece of advice you could give anybody out there who's, looking for that glimmer of hope, either from a personal or a professional perspective, what would that be?
The one thing I would say, Jeff, is I know there's a lot of people that have ideas. An idea will go through their head, but then they'll think they're incapable of doing it.
Yeah.
And I would just say, anybody who's listening, if you have an idea right now and you think, this is too hard, or I don't know how to do it, don't give up on that dream. Find a way to get it done, because there's so many people that have so much potential. But the key to success in anything, it's one word. I'm going to give the secret away, guys. It's persistence.
Persistence. Yeah.
Just don't give up. If you have that willingness, you have that drive, you have that idea, pursue your dream, pursue that drive, and you can get there. Things will happen, but it all starts with you. You said earlier, you have to be the CEO of yourself. So I would encourage you, if you're out there and you have a doubt, listen, when I started this, so Jeff, I failed like 6 times, and they do say on record, I think before you become successful, you typically fail about 5 or 6 times. And each failure isn't really a failure. It's a lesson to be learned.
Exactly.
And this past week, we just surpassed 1,000 people using the Merlin platform. And we're so excited. Within 2 months, we've only been out there 2 months, and we have 1,000 people using Merlin. We're super excited because we know we're getting it out there. But it took us 2 years to do it. And we thought we were going to launch in 1 year. So imagine that whole second year of all the bumps in the roads and the stress and everything we went through. But no, you stay persistent. You don't have to have all the answers yourself.
Right.
I don't always have all the answers. But if you have a dream or a passion, stay persistent. Keep pursuing it. Find help. Find friends. Google. There's lots of things and resources out there. But I will tell you this. Always make sure that any partners you pick, make sure you have a like mind in terms of you have the same kind of way, the way you do things. And pursue that idea. Don't give up. You can do it. You just have to be willing to keep that persistence going. And that's the key to success, Jeff. So
you're absolutely correct. And you just said that you don't have all of the answers, but he has most of the answers. So Johnny, I can't thank you enough for taking time from your busy schedule, because I know you are one busy dude. You got so much going on. You've brought so much value to this. And, you talk about persistent. And when I started, looking at Coach JV, I don't know, maybe within the last year, maybe about a year ago, kind of like was going back and forth. But then I came on board, and I'm like, I got to get this dude, Johnny Krypto, on this show, because come hell or high water, I'm going to do it. And I was persistent. So so lots of things are happening right now. But again, you've provided some amazing value sharing with holistic financial fitness, which is so important. And what I want to do here is show this slide here. And why am I showing this slide? As a global ambassador for Viarda, which is an international real estate fractional ownership company, I have been asked and humbly accepted to take a lead role in bringing this opportunity to the U.S. market. We are licensed in the U.S. and we're getting licensed globally, but now it's time to bring this to the U.S. market, to bring opportunity for people, because real estate has been tokenized, and we're the first real estate company, to my knowledge, and I'm still doing research on this, to have tokenized the real estate and create the VREIT, which is the token on the blockchain. And if you are a serious entrepreneur, or if you are looking to diversify your portfolio, scan that QR code and set up a meeting with me. I do presentations. I have one-on-ones. So if you are interested in joining us along the journey, take a snapshot of that, scan the QR code. And so with that, I said earlier today that I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And you can too. And lastly, holistic financial fitness, holistic mental and financial fitness because we talked about the mentality and the mental wellness is a new path to wealth. I truly believe that because it has happened to me over the last year and a half. I'm here to share this. Johnny's here to share it. And we will see you on the inside next time. Johnny, thank you so much. And have a great, in fact, this is like 2 days before Thanksgiving. So for those, have a happy Thanksgiving who are in the U.S. and anywhere else that you share that amazing holiday, because we have so much to be grateful for. So thanks very much. Have a good one. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Thought I was playing? Huh. Thought I was playing? Huh.